afternoon, Titans. Today is Thursday, October 5th, and you're watching Cen10 News. I'm Ashley Hilton.
And I'm Bailey Coyle. In the past few weeks, our nation has been struck with natural disaster after natural disaster. Centennial students have been affected firsthand. Ixchel Ibanez has more.
An island, once filled with culture, freedom, and majestic scenery, is now in a state of emergency.
We kept checking the news, we kept checking online, the Weather Channel.
Obviously, I was terrified. I have family there.
When Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico on September 20th, the devastation was unimaginable. But the citizens on the island weren't the only ones affected by this massive storm. One of our own students and teachers endured fear and dread as they awaited to hear from loved ones.
We've been constantly calling, trying to get our family to answer, trying to find some way to know if they're okay and to see if they have any damage to them.
I didn't have any communication with my family, so for the first 4 or 5 days, I didn't know if they were okay. I thought and I hoped they were okay, but I couldn't talk to anyone, friends or other relatives. It wasn't until this past Saturday that finally my brother was able to call me. I still haven't talked to my grandmother. They don't have phone. I know they don't have power. The whole island doesn't have power.
There are services down, the island will not have any service for months. Like the entire island will not have service, and we have no way to communicate with them.
According to ABC News, 95% of Puerto Rico is without power. The Department of Defense is distributing food and supplies, and a U.S. Navy hospital ship arrived on Tuesday. The Red Cross is also on hand to help with supplies.
It would mean the world to me if I just knew that they had the food and water and everything that they needed.
Well, my brother said, you know, they're okay, no power. They do have food. My aunt has a generator, so they're able to have some cold food, like say, you know, the meat and all that. But I mean, it is what it is. I feel like they're just surviving and they're doing what they have to do.
If anyone can donate something to American Red Cross or any other fundraisers for Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands have been impacted also, but if they can provide as much money as they can, $1 or $10 will help so much to the island and all the islands that have been impacted in the Caribbean. And so all the families can get the supplies they need, and so they can get communication with the other families that are not in the islands, and just stand together and have everything that they need so we can survive.
Reporting for Cen10 News, I'm Ixchel Ibanez.
Now that it's autumn, hopefully the severe storms will be over.
And we can look forward to some of the lighter things fall is known for.
As the leaves change and the weather gets colder, a common thing to do is to visit pumpkin patches, state fairs, and haunted houses. This past week, a couple pumpkin patches near us have opened up. We visited them to get into the fall spirit.
It is often joked that Texas skips over fall. However, this year is on track to do just the opposite. Junior Samantha BENOVITZ explains her excitement for the upcoming season.
My favorite things about fall is that the trees start to change color, and I love when all of the leaves fall off of the trees because then you really know that winter is coming.
Her plans for fall ensure to get her in the fall spirit and enjoy this cooler weather.
I'm planning on going to a haunted house on October 13th. So that'll be really fun, and then I always go to the fair in the fall, so that's fun too.
Pumpkin patches, haunted houses, and the fair are some of the most popular fall activities, and the DFW area is sure to keep you and your friends busy during this fall.
I guess just getting together with friends and doing things outside while it's nice out. You can go to pumpkin patches, that's always fun. Going to the fair with friends is fun, or just watching scary movies together.
This has been Sorna Takiuzade and Emma Bittner with Cen10 News.
Hey there, Titans. I'm Moses Reles, here, reporting for Cen10 News at dark hour, ready to show you how to get into the Halloween spirit. We were invited to Dark Hour Haunted House to explore the spooky depths of Coven Manor, and we were also given the chance to speak with some of the workers inside the manor.
My name is Alan Hops. I'm the director of Dark Hour Haunted House.
What's your favorite part about Dark House?
Dark Hour Haunted House is a lot of things. I guess my favorite thing is that I have the ability to have monsters in my head, and then I can work with our team, and then 2 weeks later I can see those monsters running around inside of the show. That's really cool.
I am the librarian for the Coven of the Witches of the Dark Hour.
What do you enjoy about working here?
Ah! The witches are truly glorious. I am inspired every day by their wondrous work. And it is an honor to serve those 13.
Welcome to Dark Hour. Everyone here knows me as the Djinn.
What's your favorite part about working here?
My favorite part about Dark Hour being my home is we have such a variety of monsters here. This is the only place where you're gonna see things like the Wendigo and the Krampus on Halloween, and then you also have elves and leprechauns and all sorts of monsters. I mean, it's a big variety of monsters.
What do you dislike about sometimes working here?
What do I dislike? You know what? I really dislike that I can't go through the house all the time. I just, you know, I have to work out here, but every once in a while I'll sneak in and scare people.
So what was your favorite part about the haunted house?
The costumes. The costumes. Yeah, I like you don't know what you're getting into. Like each room's a different theme.
And the special effects, like there was real fire and real water falling on you and snow, and you could feel it was cold.
I'm Moses Relas, reporting for Cen10 News.
As the air begins to cool and the leaves begin to turn, the season of homecoming also begins.
Here's some tips on getting more last-minute homecoming dates.
You ready for homecoming?
Probably. What do I need?
A date? Keep going.
Hey, you want to go to homecoming with me? Yeah. Danny, do y'all want to go to homecoming with me? Hey, do you want to go to homecoming with me?
No! Yes!
Do you want to go to homecoming with me? Do you want to go to homecoming with me?
Oh my god.
Hey, do y'all want to go to homecoming with me?
Are you serious?
Maybe.
No. As long as we're going in a group.
Hey, do either of y'all want to go to homecoming with me?
Maybe later.
Will you go to homecoming with me?
But seriously though, make sure your dress or suit is up to the CHS dress code, and if you have any questions, ask Miss McDonald, and then make sure you have your date. If they're not from Centennial, they are checked through for the front office. And make sure you have a great night and stay safe, Titans.
Wednesday, October 11th, the sophomores and juniors will be taking the PSAT.
Reggie Abouid interviewed Miss Green and a student about the test and how it helps them prepare.
It's that time of the year. The PSATs are coming. Many people are getting ready to take the exam on October 11th. But what exactly is the PSAT about? And how should you prepare for it? We talked to Miss Green, as well as a fellow student, about why you should take the PSAT and how to prepare for the exam.
Okay, we have sophomores take the PSAT because it is practice for the PSAT for their junior year, which is the National Merit Qualification Test. It's also sort of the first time that students have been in a time setting for a standardized test. We do have STAR tests that are timed, but not with the pace and the rigor that the PSAT has. Okay, so the PSAT is great practice for the ultimate tests of the ACT and SAT, which are the admissions tests for colleges. We know that the tests are very similar as far as the types of questions that are asked between the PSAT and the SAT. Obviously, those are both by college boards, so it has more of a direct correlation. Also, we know that the PSAT can oftentimes predict ability levels, strengths, weaknesses, areas for needed growth, so that students can really focus on what they're preparing for when they do take the SAT and ACT. In Family Connection, there's a link on our Centennial homepage to Family Connection. We have test prep that is available there for the different tests. Obviously, you can find them online at SAT.org. SAT is actually partnered with Khan Academy, and so they do have free test prep online if you're interested. We do also provide test booklets that College Board provides for us, and we give those all out to sophomores and juniors.
Junior Trenton Ramirez talks about how taking the PSAT this year is different than last year.
I think taking the PSA this year is different from last year because now it means something, and you're actually you could use that, and it's really good because now you should, since I'm a junior, start taking the SAT and the, yeah.
Reporting for Cen10 News, this is Reggie Abouid.
On September 19th, the iOS 11 was released for iPhone users.
Some of our reporters look at the pros and cons about this new update.
2 weeks ago, Apple released the newest iOS update for all phones from the 5S up, as well as the 6th Gen iPod Touch. Here at Cen10 News, we've compiled a list of the most useful new features. The first feature is the one-handed keyboard. For those with plus-size phones, typing with one hand can be a struggle, but by pressing and holding the keyboard select button, you can choose the one-handed keyboard from the list, making one-handed typing a breeze. Our second feature is screen recording, available in the new Control Center. To enable it, simply go to Settings, Control Center, Customize, and add it from the list. By pressing the Record Screen button, your iOS device will begin recording its screen to the camera roll. You can then send them via iMessage or Snapchat. The next feature is analog volume and brightness. This allows you to set them outside the 16 preset levels. So, if one volume is still too loud, you can now lower it to your preference. Our final and most important feature is Emergency SOS. If you ever find yourself in a dangerous situation, you can press the sleep button 5 times in order to open up a quick call menu for emergency services like the fire and police department without alerting those around you. Hopefully, some of these new features have helped make your life easier. Join us next time for more life hacks.
Hey guys, Connor here with your sports update. Tuesday, your Lady Titan volleyball team took on Frisco High School and won 3-1. They take on Liberty tomorrow night here at CHS at 5:30 as they look to advance in a playoff position. After a bye week last week, the Titan football team gets back in action tomorrow night at Toyota Stadium against Liberty in hopes of improving their 1-0 district record to 2-0. Many of our staff members haven't always been in education. One even has professional sports experience.
I started in high school, played at Allen, and just turned out to be halfway decent at it. And hard work and put in the time and the effort to be good at it. You know, I earned scholarship, and things just progressed from there.
Offensive line coach J.D. Walton lived the dream many high school football players have, playing professional football. But with the end of a dream, a new reality sets in.
Took a year and a half off, didn't do much. Just kind of hang out, figure out what I wanted to do. I tried a lot of different things, tried the business world, went and did some interviews and some talks and a day in the life of a business person. Did the real estate stuff, didn't really like any of it, and I go back to where I got my first love was high school. You know, my high school coach still coaches at Allen. You know, I see him regularly. I see him all the time. And the way that he put the love of the game in me, that's what I want to do to the kids that I coach. You know, I want them to have fun. I want it to be a fun experience. I want to have a good time and, you know, make these kids better at football.
Professional sports will always be a big part in his life, but changes in life bring other wonderful things just as important.
I want my wife and my son to be as big a part, you know, as the football is, because my family is very important to me. But at the same time, football is such a big platform, and I got to do it at the highest level in America. That is, I mean, football's our sport. I love it, and like I said, I wouldn't trade it for anything. In 20 years, I want to be known as a great offensive line football coach, you know, not the player. The player, that stuff's great. My son can look at the pictures, but, you know, that part of my life is done and past, and I wouldn't change anything about it. But moving forward, I'm never going to get to play again, so I got to be great at something else. And that's why hopefully I can help these young men come and play O-line and have fun. I mean, this is, at the end of the day, high school football is a lot of the last time a young man's going to be playing football in pads. So, I mean, you want it to be something they can look back on and, you know, it's not a bad memory. Like, it's something that we had fun with. You know, there was always cutting up, we're having a good time, but you know, I just want my guys to play hard for me and have fun.
For Cen10 News, Micah Creighton.
That's all for this week.
Be sure to check out our website at www.cen10news.com and follow us on Twitter at Cen10news.
Have a great weekend, Titans.